Hello, hello, and welcome to another coin review. And we have another ship. So many ships. This one here is, well, it's called apparently the Empress of China. And it's a 5 yuan, I hope I pronounced that more or less correctly, coin. So yeah, there will be some text here that I have absolutely no idea. I don't know what that says. No bloody clue. But that doesn't matter. Anyways, it comes in this nice little box, which is definitely a bit more special than just having a plastic capsule. So either way, it opens up easily, and inside, I mean, it's cheap, but still, it looks nice. It adds to the whole thing, and it does look a bit old here overall. Not that the coin is super old in itself, but the whole thing, the whole presentation kind of makes it look old, which I do appreciate. However, one minor critique is there is a hole here for the coin, but the coin barely goes down there, and it is fairly loose. It's definitely not hard to get up. There is also this string, but you don't need that. So, anyways. Oh, and it had this kind of certificate here. I'll leave it in the frame. Some Chinese legal tender. Luckily, it's also in English. But yeah, silver coin. You can kind of guess what some of these. I mean, it is in English and I guess Chinese, and then in English and Chinese again. So that does help. But let's put that aside and take a look at the coin. And here we go. Oh, let me zoom a little bit. Here we go. So this comes from China, or the People's Republic of China. So yeah, and I said not that old, but it kind of looks like it. It is from 1986, so it's up there. It's almost 40 years old by now. So there's that. I don't really want to talk about the value of the 5 yuan or yuan. Yeah, whatever. That. Oops, back in the frame. But that in itself in US dollars would be next to nothing. But whatever, that's not why you get these things. So it is silver, but not pure, not 3 nines. It is 0.9, so it's 90% silver, which is fine, I think. The weight of this is 26.6 grams. So it's almost an ounce, and of course not all silver, but still, it kind of pretty much feels like an ounce. I think you would be hard pressed to feel the difference between a 1 ounce and this if you had them in your hand. But well, thickness is, diameter first, 36 millimeters, so it is a fairly small coin. There we go. And thickness is 3.2 millimeters, so yeah. Mintage, yeah, nothing rare, 90,000, so a lot of these things floating around. But anyways, well, let's take the edge. It is reeded and it is, well, thick enough. It definitely does not look thin, so there's that. Now for the ship. Actually in the paper it says the Clipper. Is that the type of ship? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, we have a beautiful sailing ship here. And I'm not sure if this is Chinese. It's not how I imagine their ships, but what do I know? But doesn't really matter. This is just a beautiful ship. I love also how they got the ocean, so this is actually sailing. It takes up pretty much all the coin, whatever that says in Chinese. But it takes up most of the space. I like that. You have this sail, the wind is blowing, the ship is kind of sailing away. Thanks to this angle, you get enough of the hull of the ship, you get all the sails. So yeah, I think there are windows here. Not sure if those are kind of windows or gun ports, since I don't really know what kind of ship this is. but yeah, if they're gun ports, it's definitely fairly well armed, I would assume. Not as well as a battleship of the time, but still, probably not an easy target, and looks somewhat fast as well. So yeah, very, very beautiful. The water looks amazing as well. I don't know who designed this, but yeah, kudos to them. So that's very nice. And it doesn't actually stop there. On the other side, instead of having coat of arms, or I guess China doesn't have that, but whatever, or the face of a queen, let's say, we have the Great Wall of China. So that's another good choice. 1986 down here. Yeah, I don't know what that says. It could be some of that information about silver and this and that, but honestly, I don't know. But the wall looks nice, it goes through the landscape. I think those were like guard stations where you would defend from, I suppose. You have some plans and whatnot. So that looks pretty accurate, I would say. I can say that I like this more than the ship, because I just like ships so much, but still, it's not often you find a coin where both sides are pretty close to great. I would say the ship is great. I have very little critique about this. And also this looks pretty nice, so yeah. One of those rare coins where both sides are very, very nice. I like it. So definitely happy to have this one in my collection. Well, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.